Just want to let you lot know that if you're watching this clip on the Fozcast YouTube channel, the full episode is now available to watch exclusively on Spotify, and it's free. Come on. It just gave me a quick thought a minute ago there when you were talking about how it didn't take until you were 24, 25 until you really knew what your capabilities were, until you were in control of it. Do you think, just touching on the modern day with Chelsea in particular and how many young players they've got on these massive long contracts, and you're talking about 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, I know they're buying them on potential, but it's a massive risk, isn't it?
You know what the risk for me is, mate? When I first heard about it and I heard 8-year contracts, is because they're young men, mate. Earning crazy money, and you know you've got 8 years worth of money coming in. Where's the hunger to go and get? Like Martin O'Neill always made me like, you can have this, but you got to play 40 Premier League starts to get renegotiation. Yeah, every contract. Do you know what I mean? You're not getting the crazy money. You've got to go contract by contract. Yeah. These guys have been giving it boom
at the beginning.
8 years.
Yeah.
Okay. What if you want to have a gap year?
But isn't that...
you want to chill for a year?
I want to. It is like that though.
I want to go travelling. Yeah. I've got 7 years money. I've got £20 million contract there. I'll just take the 18 years. Have a year off. I'm
going to go and find myself in South America.
Yeah. I want to do the tour of Brazil and Argentina. Like, where's the hunger to go and earn more money?
Yeah,
mate.
Gabby, though, what I would say though is, like, back then it was a different time. Like now, let's look at that situation now. If Villa aren't paying it, someone else will.
Of course.
That's where we live now, though, isn't it?
Of course, but 8 years, it's like... When we were playing, it was like, you know what? If you've got a year left or 2 years left, if you're not performing, what's the next contract?
You're worrying, aren't you? Yeah.
The next club could be a club paying me less. Different times. Now it's like 8 years, like... 8 years? Problem?
It's more than half. It's more than half your career.
Go and sit on the treatment table and have coffee and banana cake for breakfast. Like I've got 8 years. I don't need to 3-year contract. You know what? I've got to be at it, because if I'm getting 20 grand a week, I want 40. If I'm getting 15 grand a week, I want 30. So I've got to perform to get that bigger pay. These guys, there's 100 grand a week, 8 years. Jesus.
Do you know what, right? Do you know what you're doing, Gabby? It's just honesty. It's the truth, right? It might shatter the illusion of it all, shatter the dream of what it takes and what it means to be a professional footballer. But when you put pen to paper on an 8-year contract and you're 21 years old, human nature takes over, and you will take your foot off the gas, and you will revert to what will just get you by.
Well, look at
it's as simple as that.
Look at Mudryk, right? Like European wise, had he really proved himself? No. And then someone calls him in and goes, we're going to transfer you. We're going to pay you 70 grand a week, 100 grand a week. Oh, and guess what? We're going to give you 8 years.
Yeah. You know what the problem is as well? Like, back in our day, Ben, you would have maybe 3-4 year contract, and if I'm not playing this weekend, oh, God's sake.
The fear.
The fear of I need to play because I need another contract. Do you know what I mean? I want to earn more money. Yeah. I want to make the most money I can. I want to play. These players now might be like, you know what? I didn't have a good game. Gaffer's not picking me next day. No problem.
I'll go to Budapest for the weekend.
Yeah, no problem. It's okay. I've got another 7 years. It's okay. That's I think that works out at 27.5 million. So you know what? I'll be fine. Yeah. Maybe if I start next season, I'll be fine. Not all the players will think like that, but there might be a few. And then you're, as a manager, like, okay, he's not really bothered in training as much. Why? Yeah. So, like you said, human nature is like, you want to fight for your contracts. Martin O'Neill, yeah, every 40 starts. Do you know what I mean? Imagine the Chelsea players now that have signed, the youngsters, you don't get a new contract or you don't get a pay rise until you play 40 starts.
But that's because the manager's not managing.
Would the injury list be as big as it is nowadays? Would it be? Back in our day, you're out there, mate. You weren't missing games, little niggles. But that's you're strapping up and you're out there.
That's when managers manage, though, Gabby, right?
Yes.
So Martin O'Neill held the keys to the kingdom for your contract. It was Martin O'Neill saying to you, you have to play. Like, with the greatest respect, it's not Graham Potter or Pochettino saying, make sure he plays 30 games a year, because that won't trigger years 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, like, if you were Mudryk and you turned up and they went, here's 8 years, you'd go, sorry, what?
Wow, thank you so much.
Thanks very much. Where do I sign?
I'll sign it.
Well, what land am I buying in Cobham?
Yeah.
To build an
might just buy Cobham
to build an estate.
I want to touch on what you just said there about some of the players with injuries, and is it something you noticed at the latest stage of your career where some of these youngsters coming through, or even some of the senior professionals, where an injury or a big game coming up, also, and they were almost looking for excuses to take themselves out the firing line.
I think what I'd noticed was sometimes maybe players that like out of contracts coming up, they're out there, mate, with like leg hanging off.
Anything.
Because you need, you know what I mean? You need another contract.
Yeah.
You need pain.
I'll
you
play
need
for the pain.
Yeah. But maybe players with longer term contracts seems a bit like, oh, you got that same calf problem. Okay. We need you here.
There's
like,
nothing on the scan. There's nothing showing up on the scan, though. Why?
That back problem. But the back's it's the best back in Birmingham, apparently, from the surgeons. Do you know what I mean? like that does happen. But going back to the Chelsea, like, it's just 8 years. At least, like, some of the players now, mate, if you're down to, like, 2 years and you're not performing, you've seen it. Yeah. Some players then down to a year. You don't play in that last year. All the best. Yeah. You're getting what? Come look at Barkley.
Yeah, true. Did
Barkley ever think he was going to play for Luton?
Yeah.
No. Barkley's probably been not performing for a certain amount of years, and then like, okay, Luton give him a chance. Now he's performing for Luton, but then clubs might think to themselves, okay, I'm not sure, like maybe he had that big deal and then took his foot off the gas. Okay, might offer him a year contracts now. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Keep him hungry.
Keep players hungry. Because they've showed maybe in the big deals that they sort of foot off the gas. Then when they're out of contract, they start showing again like he is this season. Because everyone's like Barkley for England. I 100% think he should be involved with England. But people ask me Barkley for a top 6 club. I'm like, maybe, but they're not going to go and give him 100 grand a week.
Or a 4-5 year deal.
They're going to be like a year contract. It might be like 30, 40, 50 grand a week and then appearance based. So I just think these Chelsea players, it can be hard for them, mate. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think some of them have lost games and been out clubbing and stuff. It's hard because they're not, okay, got 8 years, mate.
And you can't blame them either.
Yeah, do something.
You can't blame them. If you're 21 years old and somebody gives you that deal on that money, imagine, you think back to when you're 21 years old, right? Oh. And somebody gives you 100 grand a week. That's asking for trouble, is what is asking
for trouble,
mate.
It's
asking for trouble, isn't
I've noticed as well, some of the Villa lads, when I was there, and I won't name names, but some of them got too much money too soon. Yeah. And we might be talking of like maybe £10,000-15,000 a week. And you look at some of them today where they are, and you're like, you got too much too. And it wasn't the club's fault, because if they didn't give it them, somebody would. They would have went. Yeah. Their agents would have took them somewhere else. It's not the club's fault, but then that money, non-stop in Harvey Nichols. In Harvey Nichols more than on the pitch.
Where do they spend it? Where do they spend it, Gabby?
In Harvey Nichols,
is that what it is? Cars, watches.
Yeah, and like clothes, the best clothes, the Amiris, and you're just looking at them and you're like, don't you want 30 a week? Don't you want 50? Yeah. Don't you want 75? That comes from your performance on the pitch. That was always Martin O'Neill's theory. But then some of them are getting like 10, 15 and they're like,
that'll do me.
That'll do me. Yeah. I'll take my foot off the
gas. How do you solve this then, Gabby? Is it mentor? Is it having a good mentor? Is it the right family, the right agent? Yeah, what's the solution?
It's the right agent, the right people around you. Are like, even if you get good money at 19, 20 or 18, 17, I want more. Look at Bellingham. I want more.
He's gone again and again and again.
Dortmund's not enough. Yeah. I don't care if I'm 89. Dortmund's not enough. No, I want to go Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then some of these players now might be in lower league clubs and be like, oh, you know what? If I didn't get that at Villa at that age, you know what? Maybe I'll still be playing Premier League. Sometimes the money can ruin people. Yeah. I've seen it happen so much. You've probably seen it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because take your foot off the gas. I've got a 4-year contract at 15 grand a week or whatever. I'm going to chill. But by the time you chilled for 2 years and you've not been at it and you've had injuries or whatever, last 2 years start dying out. Boom. Premier League to League 2. I'm probably £1,000 a week. And you're like, I spent all that money on a Dolce & Gabbana, which has gone out of date now. That's not even fashionable anymore. Do you know what I mean? So like that's the problem. And it'd be nice for clubs to have ex-players maybe come in and try and speak to these kids. But they won't listen anyway. Let's be honest. 18, 19-year-old wouldn't listen to Foz or me. They'd be like, oh, I can't get out of here.
Yeah, they would.
I've got personal shopping at Harvey Nichols.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've got personal shopping at Harvey Nichols
This will last forever, this will.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't, mate.
It don't, does it?
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this clip of the Fozcast. If you would like to watch the full episode, it is now available exclusively on Spotify for free.